Hello, people of the internet. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, happy Saturday to you. Well, hopefully you are enjoying your weekend, or if you're watching this at any other point in the week, hopefully having a great day nonetheless. It is Saturday, and we have our weekly roundup of OSTs to get through. Once again, we have a little bit of a shorter list. It feels like maybe there aren't that many drama OSTs that are popping up on the release calendars, or just maybe not as many dramas that are publishing a bunch of OSTs at the moment. I don't know. I don't follow K-dramas at all. I just listen to the music. But we've got 3 on the docket today, and this week's actually a little bit interesting. So, on episode 24 of season 2 of OST Saturday, starting off with a little bit of Who's Their Boy Next Door, which will be quite good fun, because I was listening to their most recent album on the train the other day. It was a very good time. And then we've got a double dose of X-In, I think, is how you pronounce them. We haven't checked out any of their MV stuff on camera yet, but we have 2 in the form of this week's OST Saturday. We have an entire group one for the show Love After Divorce, and then we'll be sticking on with the same show, but this time with an OST from member NIZZ? NIZZ? I'm not quite sure what the pronunciation for their name is, but 2 songs from 2 songs from the same group from the same show with different artist lineup. So I don't think we've ever had that happen on an OST Saturday before, but either way, I'm very excited to get into a familiar group and get into a brand new group for me. So let's do it, shall we? Here we go! Righty. Oh, we are starting off with song Lucky Charm from the show Miss Night and Day by Boy Next Door. I forget if we've ever done an OST from Boy Next Door yet, but we have covered a good amount of their music, and honestly, they've been a pretty good time. They've had the type of music that I like to classify as like everyday music, where you can just kind of pop it on whenever throughout the day and it'll be a perfect soundtrack to your day. And I kind of love that about them. They will pop up on like Spotify Shuffle on random, and it'll just be a great time and I'll vibe along to it. And sometimes you can't ask for more than that from a song, and you don't need anything else from a song than that. Just vibe OST in your life. So Lucky Charm. I wonder if this is going to be anything like their studio stuff or not. Here we go. Let's turn the light on too, shall we? There we go. It's got a nice brightness to it. It's written in major. Oh wait, hold on a second. This is very nice. This is terrific. Hello? Wow! It's very bright and almost borderline cutesy, but I love it. It suits them very well. It fits their tone very well. Whew. Love how they ended just vocal only on that floaty kind of mixed voice. And even though it is like light and cutesy and bright, it's got such a nice pace to it. It's nice and snappy. It's got a nice bounce to it. It's like unashamedly bright and happy, and I think that's terrific. I'm also loving the vocal moments in this song. This chorus has so much vocal. Oh, different member doing that final Lucky Charm line, completely different delivery. Oh, really nice reset for the bridge. Bring it down, but bring the strings a little bit forward. That's brilliant. That's so fun. Wow. What a good time. The melody's terrific. The vibes are immaculate. They sound terrific on it. I think Boy Next Door has been a really fun group to follow vocally for me because they have a really nice range in vocals, as I think any pop group should have. But you get so many different flavors, and yet you put them all together, and they still kind of retain the individual charms, but sound terrific together. And I feel like when you get big vocal moments happening, where you have like multiple members singing together, sometimes they all kind of mash together as one to create a nice like harmony, which I think is terrific. I love a good harmony moment. I love a great vocal. But with Boy Next Door, you can almost like they all lock in together, but instead of it being like think about it this way. Food analogy for you. You have like a tomato soup, right? Think about like a really smooth, kind of like orangey tinted tomato soup that you could get at a fancy cafe that you dip like garlic toast into, you know. There's tons of different flavors going into it. It tastes really nice. It's all blended together. And the final product is terrific. The Boy Next Door for me has been like a nice chunky soup. Like everything together tastes brilliant. But you can still pick out the individual pieces and you can feel like that everything is put together after the individual pieces and it tastes great all together. But it's not like it hasn't been blended into one mess. If that does that make sense? I don't know if that makes sense or not, but I feel like Lucky Charm is a terrific way to show that because you get all the really pretty big vocal moments, but then you get the little interjections of like the individual members and their charms, especially on that final Lucky Charm line at the end of the choruses. There's 3 different members singing it. Each time the delivery is entirely different, the tone's entirely different, and the effect of it is entirely different, and I love that. I'm also very hungry. Maybe that's why I'm thinking about food analogies. It's 7 p.m. and I haven't eaten dinner yet. Any Hoosers, that's a great song. That might actually... I wonder if that'll make the list for OST of the year, top OST of the year. Because I really like that. And maybe I'm underselling a little bit, but I really like that. Right. And now we get to move on to 2 songs from the show Dolcinus 5 or Love After Divorce, and both from the group EXIN. So first one is So Goodbye Now from all of the members. This is the group song, So Goodbye Now. I don't know what the context of the show is and what the relationship between EXIN and the show is. If it's just them doing a song for it, then that's perfectly okay. If there's members participating in it or something like that, then I don't know the contextual details behind it. But let's check out the song one time. Here we go.
You're not my man, you're not my choice. In your arms, I cannot believe it. So farewell now, and I must depart.
What a cool mixing style. It's such a sharp piano.
Distress. You're not the one to make me whole. In your one life, I lost my soul for the end.
I love the kind of relaxed pace of this though. Like, it's slow and it kind of saunters, but it doesn't feel heavy slow.
Goodbye now. So goodbye now. So goodbye now. You're not the one.
That is not the chorus I thought was gonna come up. I thought we were gonna get like a pretty bold chorus, but we're gonna stick with this almost kind of wintry vibe, which is really neat.
You're not my choice. In your arms, I cannot believe it. So farewell now.
It's the instrumentals that are being used in this. You have like muted digital percussion, the electric guitar, and this really sharp piano. They're so different, and they provide completely different kind of textures. That's really neat.
So goodbye now. So goodbye now. So goodbye now.
That's great. I love it. I mean, like I mentioned with the Boy Next Door song, I love a good vocal moment.
So goodbye now. So goodbye now.
Is this one of those songs that doesn't get a bridge, where we're gonna go straight into the outro?
Goodbye now. So goodbye now.
Because we're just gonna repeat the hook for the outro instead. Okay.
So goodbye now. So goodbye now.
And that's how they finish it. Oh, very interesting. It's quite a complex structure in terms of how the song's been put together. Like, you've got a main vocal part. You get tons of little ad libs and kind of like call and response elements, which I think are cool. I think call and response, little ABAB action in any composition is super interesting, and to get the firm kind of clear goodbye now in the choruses, at least get the firm individual clear goodbye now, and then you follow it up with almost like a wispy hazy echo and with the callback, goodbye now. I think that's so neat. I love stuff like that. And then yeah, that really clear separation between all the instrumental sections is very interesting. The piano, I think, in terms of, so if we're, spread the three instruments apart, you have your percussion, you have your guitar, and then you have your piano. They cover three different, what is it called? Harmonic frequencies? Sonic frequencies? It's been a long time since I took physics, but they cover different areas of the frequency spectrum when it comes to sound. That high, sharp piano is on the high end of the frequency scale. The guitar's in the middle, and the percussion is in the low end. So think about it, if it's vocals, your high, middle, and lows. That high is so sharp that it kind of just like cuts through everything. And that guitar provides like the soft kind of middle bit. The percussion provides a bass, but the bass isn't like the big prominent heavy bass that you oftentimes will get in a pop song. And even on ballads, to an extent, you will get a pretty dominant bottom end because you need something to hold the song together, or to hold the bottom end of the song together. But So Goodbye Now doesn't really have one, but it doesn't feel like unbalanced in a way. Like, sometimes when you hear really treble-loaded song, feels like there should be bass there. With So Goodbye Now, it's there enough to where, for me at least, my brain picks up on it, but the like musical processing side knows that there isn't a whole lot. That's cool. And we continue with the same show, looks like the same part of the OST as well, and technically the same group. This time it's one individual member by the name of NIZZ, I think. And I'm very new. Well, I mean, this is the first time for me with Exen, so apologies if I've mispronounced the name, but Deepening Longing. Yes, Deepening Longing from the same show. Now, here's the real question. what direction do you think this is going to be? Because usually when we get two parts to an OST, they're either complete counters to each other or stylistically very similar. Are we going to get the separation or are we going to get the similarity? Let's find out.
On this dark and stressed tonight,
Ballad, I think.
walking alone
Right now everything's saying
and
ballad, but this could change.
now, endless waves of longing from somewhere.
And this time, much mellower
I
piano.
can feel you. Now you left apart, working this past alone. Seems like now I must let you go. Longing,
I've always said the most effective emotional ballad is one acoustic instrument, one vocal.
Though time passes, flows away. Depending, longing, I'm still living what missing you.
And the very subtle reverb on her voice, especially at the end of that chorus, is so effective.
Daily maze for me, are you traces? Endless ways of longing, I can feel you anywhere. Seems like now I must let you go.
They're not changing the instruments at all, it's just the piano still.
Calling for you, I'm still missing you. Though time passes, flows away. Depending, longing, I'm still living what missing you. Now you left
They really are just gonna keep just piano.
So now I must
Is this the first OST we've come across that does this?
Seems like now I must let you go.
Smart. Go soft on the re-entry for the final chorus.
Calling for you, I'm still missing you. Trace of your love,
Get a cheeky harmony in there.
depending, longing, I'm still living what missing you. Trace of your love, to pin my
Separate the vocal lines now.
Depending, longing, I'm still living what missing you.
There's the final chord. I am shocked by that. I'm genuine. I'm trying to think if we've ever had a ballad on OST Saturdays where the entire thing is one instrument, one vocal. I mean, admittedly, we did get some harmonies in that final chorus there, but besides the point. I genuinely cannot think of one that takes this formula for the entire duration of the song. Usually, in the K-pop scene, especially when we get to a ballad that's like studio produced, not like a live stage ballad, but produced for something, whether it's their own album, their own release, or it's for an OST. Usually, if the song starts with one acoustic instrument and one vocal, you go through the motion, the song progresses, you feel the swell of the song before the chorus, throughout the pre-chorus, as is its intended purpose. You get the full release in the chorus, but you still retain the one vocal and one instrument methodology. And then you introduce more instruments in the second verse, and then the finale ends up becoming this really pretty, almost emotionally overwhelming ballad. Deepening Longing takes the idea of the one-on-one ballad formula and runs with it the entire length of the way without changing anything. That's crazy to me, but also extremely impressive because of it. There's two reasons why I think this formula for a ballad is the most effective, especially if it's an emotional ballad. One, with no MV, it, as you listen to the song on its own, it kind of creates the image that whoever is singing the vocal is playing the instrument as well. That image to me has always been super powerful because it gives off the vibe that the vocalist and the instruments are all coming from the same source, and therefore the emotion is all coming from the same source. It's like you see old performances of, I don't know who's a good example, but you see like, black and white film of somebody, or a very early color film of playing piano, very pretty voice, they're singing along while they're playing the piano. You can feel that, like, the emotion and the power and the message of the song, both vocally and instrumentally, are coming from the same place. You get the similar vibe from this specific formula. But two, by recording it in this way, there's nowhere to hide. One vocal and one instrument, even though they might be moving at the same time, maybe different patterns, like in the same part of the song, only having one other source of sound to maybe blend with, or to like mask a transition or something like that, you kind of can't, because there's not enough to properly mask between the two. So every single transition, every single breath, every single like accent and stuff, you're going to hear and you're going to notice. And that like rawness to, I think, might be the best way to describe it. The rawness of it is very effective on the listener, at least in my opinion. It's very effective. We've taken both of those, done it for the full 3 and a bit minutes, and the final product is brilliant. Feels like it's been a hot minute since I've gotten this passionate over a ballad, but it's a very good ballad. Very impressive indeed. But very, very quick on the OST Saturday front once again this week, and thankfully we don't have any more catch-ups to do, because we covered all the OSTs that I've been planning on covering from January to March, so we're back to one OST Saturday a week. But, well, we had 3 other MVs today, so I reckon this will be a good stopping point for today. Thank you all for listening along with me. Hopefully you enjoyed it as much as I did. We do this every single Saturday, so keep your eyes peeled if you're interested in any more OSTs. But one last request from me today. Let's work together as a community to bring a little bit of extra happiness back into the world, whether it be checking with your friends or family, holding the door open for somebody, or even picking up a piece of trash off the street. Just one small act of kindness that may brighten up someone else's day to day. And know that wherever you are in the world, should you ever be going through a tough time in your life, for whatever reason it may be, even though I'm just some guy on the internet who waffles about music in his free time, know that I will always be a friend, ally, and a shoulder to lean on whenever you need me. So take care of yourselves, take care of each other, spread the love, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.